Hi, beautiful people. I am Ra Mahetep Amen. And what I wanted to do today is just give you 7 basic things you can do to either rid yourself of anger or minimize anger in your life. Step number 1, stop making excuses. When you erupt in anger, when you allow anger to overcome your choice and lead to an action, take full responsibility of that. There is absolutely no reason, no viable reason why you should ever allow anger to rule your decision process. So stop making excuses. Stop blaming people for the anger that exists within you. Step number 2, step back and look at the consequences, the outcomes of your anger. You know, too often people who repeatedly get into anger, they never sit back and look at the devastation that has been caused by them allowing anger to rule over their choice. What most people don't understand is that when you erupt in anger, it not only impacts your success, but it also impacts other people, your family members, your friends, your co-workers, and things of that nature. You know, we know when a tornado has touched down by its devastation that it leaves behind. Well, anger is like a tornado. When you allow anger to rule your choice, it causes devastating consequences, not only for you, but for the people that love you. Step number 3, understand the difference between choice and the way you feel. Even though you may have anger manifesting in your spirit, your choice is still free to make the right decision even though anger is manifesting. As a matter of fact, you'll find that anger is simply a conditioned response to things, but anger is simply a state that is attempting to influence your choice. So you must understand that your choice, your ability to act, is completely separate from how you feel. And therefore that freedom gives you the ability to make the right choice at any time. Step number 4, self-identity. You should not identify with the part of your being that is expressing anger. No different than you driving your car. When your car malfunctions, you don't make the conclusion that you have malfunctioned, because you know that you are functioning through a vehicle that is getting you from place to place. Well, the same thing is true within your spiritual system. You as self existed prior to the creation of any and all things. As a matter of fact, you existed prior to the notion of anger. So when you identify with self, which is always free, it puts you in a better position to manage your choices in the state of anger. But when you identify as an angry person, in other words, she pissed me off, he pissed me off, I am upset. These are all expressions of people who identify with the vehicle from which they are functioning through versus identifying with the entity that is driving the vehicle. A major piece in you ridding yourself of anger is identifying with the part of your person, your being, that is truly free. Step number 5, recognize the trigger. Understand the concepts of trigger. The situation, things, and beings that you experience in the world are simply triggering a conditioned response within you. They're simply letting you know that you have anger within your spirit. Too often we blame people in our lives for how we feel. So when a person cuts us off in traffic, we blame that person for how we feel, and therefore I justify attacking this person in the name of anger because they made us feel this way. But all those people are doing is just simply giving you the understanding that you have a conditioning of anger within your spirit. And therefore you must go to work to ridding yourself of the conditioned response to the trigger. You know, the only way you can truly get rid of anger is by ridding yourself of the conditioned response to the trigger versus identifying the trigger as the source of your anger. When you rid yourself of the conditioned response to the trigger, now when you endure people, places, and things, you don't find yourself in a state of anger, and therefore you are in a position to truly make the correct choices and experience success and happiness within your life. Step number 6, meditate, meditate, meditate. I cannot emphasize meditation enough. Meditation is our ability to control how we feel. You know, too often when we find ourselves in a state of anger, we utilize taking action in the name of anger simply to make us feel better. That's why you'll see people who erupt in anger actually feel better after they have made choices in the name of anger. But unfortunately, even though they feel better, they still got to deal with the consequences of the actions in the name of anger. Meditation allows us to use our breathing apparatus to rid ourselves of anger. So I can diminish the sensation and feeling of anger within me before I have to take an action in the name of anger to resolve it. So meditation is a very good tool that you can use to control how you feel. But in order for you to control how you feel, you must also understand that people are just triggering a conditioned response in you. And so how you feel is not the result of people, it's the result of you, how you've allowed yourself to be conditioned over the years. Meditation allows you to minimize how you feel so that you can control your actions and bring about success. Step number 7, and last but not least, is mindfulness meditation. Now, the difference between mindfulness meditation and meditation is, meditation is kind of controls how you feel. Mindfulness allows us to reprogram. So now we're utilizing meditation to reprogram our conditioned response to the trigger. So in other words, we're using mindfulness to diminish our response to the trigger, which ultimately puts us in a position to truly conquer anger. If you find yourself in states of anger, that is not who you are, that is not natural to your being, and it's something that you can rid yourself of. Peace and blessings. Have a wonderful day, and remember, choice is always free